proposed realignment done by Jim Bowden in The Athletic. And there's the Eastern Conference and Western Conference, which is yawn, boring names, but rightfully so. So in the East Division, it would be under his alignment would be Boston, New York, Yankees, and Philly, which would be just a giant. That'd be a giant. The four most annoying fan bases of all time in one division. So you could have that division. Hey, that's cool. I mean, all those fans would be really, really annoying division. I call that just obnoxious. And so then the North Division would be the Reds, the Guardians, the Tigers, and the Blue Jays. Now, geographically, he put this as all the Bowman realignment plan. So this is all based off geography. This makes a lot of sense on paper. And also, if you think about it, all four teams with the exception, three of these teams, with the exception of Toronto, are not going to spend money. So that right there is, I mean, the Reds right now are in a state of flux too. The Reds they might be selling too. I don't know what's going on with the Reds, to be honest with you, but you know that the Blue Jays are going to, if the Blue Jays have that division, if that's the actual division, that's going to be a tough. I mean, for the Tigers, eventually they'll be. If the Tigers develop and do well, then yes, they would be. You bring back your natural rivalry with Toronto, so that geographically it makes a lot of sense. The Mid-Atlantic division would be Baltimore, the expansion team for Charlotte, Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Nationals. God, that division also. Boring, boring, brutal. Oh man, that of all the divisions, this one sounds like it's just awful. And then the last division in the East would be Braves, Marlins, Nashville expansion team, and the Tampa Bay Rays, and that would be an interesting division too. And then what would happen is the Braves would win 15 titles in a row, like they've done before, to a certain extent. But Braves and then Tampa, that'd be a good rivalry right there too.
Oh, so, I think Braves Tampa would be fun.
And if Miami ever got their act together, then I think Miami's competitive, but too, it also depends on how fast the Nashville proposed expansion team would do. So in the Western Conference, the Midwest Division, Cubs, White Sox, Brewers, Twins, literally the battle of '94. Would be Astros, Royals, Cardinals, and Rangers. So good luck, Royals. You're going to need it. That division would be interesting. Cardinals.
That's kind of an awkward thing for the Cardinals.
Yeah. Well, geographically, it makes sense if you think about it to a certain extent. I mean, you could flip. I mean, you could put. I mean, a lot of Cubs fans were complaining about, well, you took away from the Cubs and Cardinals, but in reality, rivalries are not what they used to be. So the Pacific Coast Division, Rockies, Oakland, or the Las Vegas A's, because they might be moving to Vegas, Seattle Mariners, and San Francisco Giants. I have a problem with this one only because you take away the rivalry from the Giants and the Dodgers. So to me, this division I don't know about. And the West Division is the Diamondbacks, both LA teams, and the Padres. So kind of flops it a little bit to me.
I love the idea of the Tigers and Blue Jays being in the same division. It feels like they should be a rivalry. It should be a hated rivalry, mostly because Toronto fans travel.
Yeah.
Whenever the Blue Jays come to play at Comerica, they're there cheering and booing. When the Red Wings are playing the Maple Leafs in LCA or Old Joe Louis Arena, there are a lot of Toronto fans. It's a nice natural rivalry. You got, kind of we hate you as a country, but we're fine with it actually. There's like some fun there. So I would love that. I don't, Cleveland and Cincinnati fine. I think I would also like to have a Chicago team in there, but I'd be fine with those other two teams. But to your point, the only other thing I noticed was you mentioned the Dodgers and Giants being split up. I don't think Cubs and Cardinals fans would be terribly happy about being split up. I think they would want to maintain their rivalry within the division. But beyond that, it's kind of fun.
I think that, expansion is coming. I think at some point, MLB is going to want to cash in those franchise fees and make the money. And then we will see an offensive explosion like most expansions have led to. And home runs sell tickets. So it's going to be interesting to see how quickly they can pull this together over this next decade.
I like it for the playoff wise of it because I really like how the NFL used to do their playoffs where you had the 4 division winners and the 2 wild cards and then the top 2 seeds. That's kind of how MLB does it, but it's kind of weird where you have 2 division winners get a bye, but then the 3rd division winner doesn't get a bye. I think it would just make a lot more sense if you have 4 division winners and then have the top 2 division winners get a bye, and then just do, the 4 and 5 seed and the 3 and 6 seed.